Welcome to Fantasy Beech Boys Episode 5 Divisional Round Preview. We have a special guest today, Sandy Plashkes from OwnersBox, and it's going to be a good one. I mean, we've had a rivalry on Twitter. Obviously, I like the Rams. He likes the Packers. We're going to break down every single game for you.
I don't know. This could be a good one. I'm just meeting Sandy for the first time. Could it be a future endeavor? We don't know. Summer internship? Possibly. Nobody knows yet. Big things to come.
Welcome, Sandy. How's it going today?
It's going well, boys. Honestly, it's a big honor to be on the pod, Jer. I've seen your growth over the last few months. I remember our first episode of the pod on OwnersBox. You couldn't even speak a word in the microphone, and seeing you now with your own podcast, it's awesome. And meeting Jackson as well. You guys are doing cool things over there. So happy to be on and happy to talk playoffs. We got locks all over the board this weekend, so let's get into it.
Yeah. My first podcast, I was scared shitless. Had to go to the bathroom after to check the armpits. But no, lots of sweating. But no, we got a great slate. Obviously, we've been going back and forth on Twitter. I know you're a big Packers fan. Why don't you tell our loyal followers why you're a big Packers fan?
So, growing up, a diehard Packers fan. I don't think I've missed a game in over a decade. I watch every single Sunday. It's like my church is, tuning into that Packers game. So I've been on the Packers wagon for a while now. This year, especially, in our season preview on OwnersBox, I gave out some hot takes that Aaron Rodgers was going to win MVP this year and the Packers were going to be unreal. And at the beginning of the year, it looked pretty shitty, but, the Packers have been playing unbelievable this year. I'm really confident in our team, and that's why I've been talking some smack to you guys on Twitter. I don't know how you take the Rams, especially after last week taking the Seahawks over the Rams. Jerry, you're switching up, going back to the Rams. So we're going to have to talk about that as well. But overall, really excited about the Packers this year. I know the Rams are a tough team, and, looking forward, I think we have a good shot this weekend and then going forward through the Super Bowl. So I got my Super Bowl future in. I got my Aaron Rodgers future in. I'm riding in. I'm basically all in, boys. So I'm living and dying by the Pack. And if they lose, I'm gonna own up to it, Jerry. I'm gonna be a man of my word, but we're going to talk a little bit more about some stats that I like this week and some bets that I'm looking at for the weekend.
All right, that's good. Let's just dive right into it. Rams Packers, obviously first game of the weekend. I'll be brutally honest. I mean, people are chirping me on Twitter. They want proof of me betting the Rams. I've been getting asked by even my cousins about, do I actually like the Rams? People are asking for stats, and you know what I did this morning? I grabbed a coffee and started to actually get in the stats. So stat guy Jer is back. I don't usually come out with stats, but when I do, I would like to look back at my record because it's probably close to 1-0. But here we go. Okay. Green Bay has not faced a top 10 defense in the past 11 weeks. Okay. You say they played the Colts and Bears, but I have a source that has the Colts at 11 and the Bears at 12. Now people are questioning that. AKA Jackson is questioning that rank.
I'm also questioning that.
This source comes from the shoppers outside the street. The guy standing out front of the shoppers. That's our source.
They've only played two top 10 defenses this year, the Bucs and the Saints, and we all know what happened when they faced the Bucs. It was a shit game, and the Packers got their ass kicked. And then the other time they played top 10 defense was the Saints, which they won. So I'm not saying anything bad about that. Obviously, we know their top O-line is missing, which is obviously a big hit. Now, let's go into, that's just defense, who they playing, strength of schedule. Packers receiving. Now, Sandy, you'll be the first one to admit that they are reliant on Devontae Adams. I mean, 1,300 receiving yards this year. The next closest is Marquez with 690, which ranks 56 in the NFL. He's a 52% catch rate. Do we think that Aaron Rodgers is going to throw to him in the playoffs? There's no way.
Yeah, just looking at it, I think that's a good take, Jaron. Obviously, my biggest thing, watching the draft last year, and I was fucking so angry just watching them pick Jordan Love in the first round when they could have had a lot of these receivers, like the Brandon Ayuks of the world. Like, imagine Brandon Ayuk on the Packers as the number 2 guy this year. Like, that's Aaron Rodgers would be, I mean, he already had one of the years of his career, but I would just say that would make his year even better. But watching MVS this year, you brought him up, and I think you're on a good point there. He has the worst catch rate in the NFL. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's the lowest.
It's got to be up there.
he drops like I could name it like off the top of my head probably 5 or 6 deep post balls that are touchdowns that he dropped, like 50+ yard plays that in the playoffs, in the regular season might not have changed the game, but in the playoffs those are going to matter, right? So I think it's a good take there. I will say though, I think the matchup, you said it on Instagram yesterday when we threw up that video, I think it's going to come down to Adams versus Ramsey. That's going to be an unbelievable matchup. I do think, though, that the Packers will have some tricks up their sleeve, like the Bob Tonyans of the world. That guy, I mean, I don't think anyone in the fantasy universe thought that guy was going to have as many touchdowns as he did. The way he performed, I think he'll be, a dark horse for the Pack this playoff run. But other than that, MVS has stepped up a bit, but he still has those crippling drops that you can't even forget. So, honestly, the Rams defense, number 1 in the league. I watched them last week. The main reason I love the Rams against the Seahawks is because of that defense. I love Cam Akers as well. They have a good run game, but I mean, you saw what the Packers defense did to Derrick Henry. I know it's in Green Bay, the frozen tundra. I like those factors playing in our favor, obviously, coming from a team from LA, but ultimately the Packers defense has played better than they ever have over the last 5 years in the last back half of the season here. So I'm really liking what we're doing. Our corners are so young. Jair Alexander is one of the best in the league. Darnell Savage is playing unreal too. And Adrian Amos, who was a big pickup for us a few years ago, is playing well. So I like our secondary. It's just going to come down to, can we develop the run game? I think that's the biggest point I talked about last night when I went on a podcast is if the Packers can't get this run game going, the play action won't be there, all that other stuff. So I think a big goal for the Packers early on will establish the run game, work that play action. And then from there, it's going to be Rodgers, Adams, and he'll work some deep balls to MVS. And, even Lazard, I like Lazard, playing well. He's not going to be, a big number 2 guy, but I think him and MVS are going to have to step up in this role this postseason to really make a run at it. So that's my take on, what I think we need to do.
I'll touch on this. I like your points a lot, Sandy. I still think you need to look big, not you specifically, the world needs to look big picture here and still look back at the quarterback for the Rams is still Jared Goff here. That's the big picture. We're overthinking this. It's Packers all the way. There's no question about it. Jared Goff can't move the ball. He hasn't gone for 250 and 2 TDs since November 23rd, something like that against the Bucs. It's actually embarrassing. He can't move the football. I love their run game. It's great. They have their 3 guys going back there whenever they need them. If one guy's not going, they can switch it up. But I still think you're overthinking this too much, man. This is too easy.
I think, you look at it and Sandy hit it on, he agrees that they're relying on Devontae, obviously. He has 136% more of the targets than the second guy, which is obviously their tight end, Tonyan. But you just got to think the Rams are going to rather go 2 on him or Ramsey's going to shut him down because he's shown he can shut down a lot of people. He shut down Diggs earlier in the year when they put up 32 points. So,
what I actually do, what I do like though, Jared, is when they shadow Adams. Though you brought up a point because they will do that. They'll throw a safety over top of Adams and man cover him, like with Ramsey, obviously. I love that because then it opens up the deep balls to MVS, the play actions to Tanya. And that's honestly, as a fan, I've watched that for years because Adams has been far and wide our best receiver last 2 or 3 years. And he's gotten that treatment from other teams. I know other teams don't have Jalen Ramsey in the best defense in the league, but I do think that will open up a lot of the game. I don't think they will start doing that, but I think, as Adams gets going, I think he gets some catches going in the first quarter. He likes to start hot. So I think we'll see that, double coverage, and then we'll open up the rest of the passing game. So ultimately, I don't trust Jared Goff. I didn't trust him last week. I actually bet on the Rams, hoping the accountant would play. That's what I call him, the backup QB, the accountant, because he was working in finance before he came out and played for the Rams. So I honestly like that guy better than Goff, but he had a bad injury, obviously. Hope he's doing okay. But Goff last week, 155 yards. He even got lucky to get that many. He had a 60-yard ball to Cup that was underthrown that he just made an insane catch on. And then put the external factor of this frozen tundra. It's supposed to be 20 or 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I know you Canadians might not know Fahrenheit scale, but it's supposed to be really, really cold up there. And I just don't see Goff performing well. I really like our defense, as I said. So we're just going to need to, set the tone on defense. And then from there, it's going to be an Aaron Rodgers show.
Yeah. Well, let's make a bet. Let's get something on the table here because the fans are asking for it. So what does the loser have to do? Are we going spread 6.5? I'm gonna bet money line, but but I'll do a spread bet.
Crazy.
I mean, because like it's 6.5. I mean, it's no.
Yeah, let's do this. I'll take -6. I'm already taking the spread -6.5 on my book, but let's do a little friendly bet. Loser has to publicly apologize on Twitter, like we did with our hype videos we posted yesterday. Loser has to go on Twitter and post a video and say why they were wrong, and then say a couple compliments about the winning guy. So either Jer or I will have some fun on Twitter. But as I said, I'm confident in 6.5. I'm also going to tease the Packers with the Bills. I think that might be my play of the weekend, or at least my play of Saturday. I know, Jerry, you'll probably like that one a little bit with the Bills, but I'm riding we'll talk about the Bills in a second, but I think the Packers easily cover 6.5, and we'll do that little friendly bet, little Twitter video, some embarrassment out there. So that's how confident I am. I don't think I'll be the one posting the Twitter video this weekend.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's a good shift towards Bills Ravens night game. I mean, I'm really looking for this game. Do I like the matchup? I don't mind the matchup. I mean, the Bills are at home. Obviously, the Ravens have been playing amazing, but to be honest, I don't really see the Ravens offense very good. The pass game isn't, they have a great run game, obviously with Lamar and J.K. Dobbins, but I mean, they have no pass game. Like, so the Bills offense has been crazy. I don't know if the Ravens can keep up with the Bills, to be honest. I don't know. I love the Bills. Obviously, I'm a Bills fan, so I love them, but I'd like to hear what you guys think of this game.
You can go first.
Yeah, I like the Bills. I'm with you, Jer. And I have been riding Josh Allen a lot of the, probably the last 6 weeks. I've been betting on him pretty much every week. I mean, watching that guy play, no shame to Aaron Rodgers, but that guy's in the MVP conversation. And I actually said that I thought he would have a great year, but he's exceeded my standards, through the roof on that. Obviously, Diggs, that guy's changed that whole offense. He's a beast. Him and Adams are easily the 1-2 in the league for me right now. And I have no shame. I'm taking -2.5 all day long. I really love it. I think Baltimore's hot right now. Everyone is going to, it's pretty even split. If you look at the money bets right now, it's 51% is on Buffalo -2.5 and 49's on +2.5 Ravens. So I like that it's even split. For me, I think 2.5 is too low of a number, and I'm going to take that. I also like points in all Buffalo games. I just think they could score points fast. And usually, I don't know what their stat is on how many overs they've covered lately, but it's been most of them because I've been teasing them with the spread as well. So I love the Bills this week. I'm riding them -2.5 all day long.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but I love the Bills as well. The Ravens, that pass game is terrible. I hate to say it. Like, it actually hurts me. Like, I will be the biggest Ravens fan on Sunday night. Like the biggest Ravens fan in the world. And I usually hate the Ravens. But that run game is the only thing that scares me against the Bills, because the Bills do have that weak run defense. But for Lamar to keep up in the air against Josh is just, it's not going to happen. It's just not realistic at all. And I think Josh is just, I think he's going to torch them in the air. I don't want him to. I really don't. But I think he will. But the Ravens, they can turn it on, and they can keep themselves in a game. If it would be a low-scoring game, I do like their defense better than the Bills down the stretch. And again, defense wins championships. But I really like this matchup for the Ravens specifically, but I would still have to take the Bills because it's just Josh Allen is just so much better in the air, and you got to win in the air in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely think that the air is going to play throwing.
I mean, ultimately, the biggest thing is, though, you said it right. I think you have to look at, like, if the Ravens are behind in a game, is Lamar going to take like a 5-step drop and throw? Like, that's that's like the biggest, like the best situation for the Bills fans, like watching Lamar drop back and throw. But when they have a lead, like, they can run clock and churn drives. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest key for Buffalo this week will to come out hot, which they usually do. They're like one of the best teams on scoring in first quarter in the league, and I like them to come out hot and hold the lead the whole game. I had to guess. I thought this line would be higher, honestly. I thought it'd be more like Buffalo -4, -5. I think they win by at least a touchdown. That might be a hot take, but I think Buffalo does it this week. They did burn me last week on the spread. I had the -6 and they didn't cover. But I just think, even though the Colts is I think the Colts is a better defense. I know Baltimore's is pretty solid as well, but I just really like the Bills this week, and I think they do it by a touchdown.
All right, that's good. So we're all on the Bills. Let's go into Sunday here. Chiefs, Browns. I mean, I've been caught saying the Browns are shit like 9 times this year, and people have been like, you keep saying they're shit, and they just keep winning. Are we crazy to say that the Browns actually have a chance against the Chiefs? I thought this would open at double digits, and it did. I don't know if it's still at 10, but I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to walk right over them. personally. Browns are actually having an away playoff game with fans. I don't know. I can't see this being a close game. At some point, I think are the Browns good?
I mean, for me, I like heavy underdogs. Like, I would probably tease this line. I don't think I'll take +10. I would take it at like 16.5 or 17 by the full point. But ultimately, after they won last week, like the Steelers obviously were talking shit. They got handled. The Browns have now gotten their high horse. I don't know if you guys have been seeing Twitter with all these Browns players getting super cocky about how they're not done yet. That's what really worries me. Like, I think that's what's going to do it to them. I don't think Kansas City is going to lose this game, but I definitely think Cleveland could cover +10. But to ensure that number, I'm going to tease them up to 16 to 17 or in that range. So to make sure that they cover. But I got this at like a 10-point game right around the spread. I just think Kansas City is too high powered. I just don't trust Baker Mayfield yet. I hate to say it. He's had a great year. The guy's in more commercials than he has wins until this year. Like, the guy's in every single fucking commercial when you turn on football on Sunday. But that said, he's proven me wrong and he's winning football games. So I would lean Cleveland here. But again, I just think Kansas City's too overpowered and they're going to take this one pretty easily.
Yeah, what I do like for the Browns is that pass rush, but I think the pass rush doesn't affect Mahomes as much as it would Big Ben, and that's why I think Mahomes will strive better than where Big Ben didn't last week, and that's what the Browns, they kind of like look forward to get that pressure to create some bad throws and stuff like that, but I don't think it will affect Mahomes as much. I also like the run game a lot better too, because Clyde and Le'Veon can get it going, but yeah, the Steelers have nothing in the backfield. Like, James Conner sucks, and that's why I get anything going against the Browns, because they just rely on the short passes in the air.
Yeah.
But, I think Chiefs all the way here, unless... It's still scary, though, because, like, their run game is great, and Baker just randomly can just flick the switch and turn it on. It's random, but, like, I think you have to go Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're unstoppable when they get the ball. When they want to score, I haven't seen them not score when they want to score.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put it perfect there. I think Mahomes is going to take over here. I think, like they said, I know Avery was a little scared of playing the Ravens there. I think that would have been a way better game, but I mean, I think they looked at this as the best possible matchup here against the Browns.
I mean, it's a playoff matchup at +10. Like, it's so juicy. Like, you
that's
really
crazy. That's crazy.
+10. Like, I would even buy the half point if I was really confident in 10. I would buy 10.5 to get that football number. But ultimately, 10's a lot of points no matter who's playing, and it's a divisional playoff game. Like, that's why I lean Cleveland. But again, I've bet against Kansas City a few times this year, and I haven't won once. So keep that in mind. I lean Cleveland here, but it's going to be a sketchy one for sure. You're sweating.
Yeah. Let's go. I see this as the best game of the week, to be honest. Saints Bucks. Obviously, the Bucks got destroyed by the Saints. Division game here. I don't really know who to lean to here, but if I like the home team in the Saints just because they're at home. I know there won't be. I don't even know if there will be fans there. Will there be fans?
I don't think so, but I just want to say, Jared, I absolutely disagree with you. I think this is my.
I feel like everyone's on the Bucks.
This is the Sandy Plashkes. Clip this up. I don't know who your production guys. Clip this up.
That's
the
me.
Sandy Plashkes. Surefire lock of the week. Don't even give me the points. Bucks money line. They're gonna win outright. It's gonna be the Bucks and the Packers in the NFC Championship. Book it. And I'm telling you right now, don't even mess with the spread. Take the plus whatever it is, plus 130 or whatever this money line is for the Bucks. They will not lose. They've lost twice to the Saints this year. I still have my doubts. I love our guy Drew, but I just have my doubts about the Saints offense. I'm taking Tampa Bay money line all day long. That's my lock of the weekend.
Yeah, I think I gotta go with Sam. Sorry, Jerry, you just got some really bad takes.
Well, I had Saints Bills before the year in the finals. I had the Super Bowl Saints Bills.
You did.
Stick with your guns then.
I think this is going to be a really good game. I would look to take the over in this game. I think it's just going to be a shootout between these two teams. I don't know. I know they're saying because the Bucks have lost twice, but I mean they didn't just lose twice. They got their ass kicked last time they played. So I don't know. I like Saints. I feel like everyone's on the Bucks because they've lost twice. Oh, you can't lose a third time. Yeah, you can lose a third time in a row.
Tough to beat Brady 3 times in 1 year. That's happened.
I gotta say, like, this Aaron Rodgers Brady debate, Jerry, you know, you've spent enough time with me. It eats me up to take Brady. Like, I bet on Brady the last 3 weekends, and I've won every single time. And I have to say, I just don't see Brady going out 3 losses to the Saints, especially a divisional team. I do agree that this will be the game of the weekend. I think it's going to be an absolute shootout. But Brady in dome stadiums with no fans, right? Let's keep in mind, I think that's a big factor here.
Yeah, that is a big factor.
Like Saints, if they had a full stadium or even, half capacity or whatever it is, that makes, a huge difference with audibles and stuff like that Brady wants to do. But Brady's going to be in his bag, like in a dome stadium. Whenever Rodgers or Brady goes to dome stadiums, I'm always taking them. But yeah, I like points here nonetheless, as well as the money line.
Okay. So you like Bucks. Jackson likes Bucks. I think I'm leaning towards Saints here. To finish things off, we've been asking everyone what's their hot take. I know you briefly mentioned a little hot take on the pod. I think you said the Bills were going to win by a touchdown, but what would you say is your hot take for this playoffs or even this weekend?
Hot take for this playoffs. Oh man. You know what? I'm going to go to the Cleveland Kansas City game and I'm going to say that my hot take, all right, this is a steamy hot take for a reason. Cleveland money line, throw a few bucks on it. If they win, thank me later, but I don't think I'm going to be one of the very few taking Cleveland money, but I'm going to sprinkle on Cleveland money line just because we're doing this hot take segment, but don't quote me on that as a winner, but just ride it and see what happens.
All right. Love that hot take. Sprinkle a little bit on Brown's money line. Sandy Plashkes. Thanks for having you on. It was great to have you. We'll definitely have you on again. And yeah, that's episode 5 of Fantasy Beech Boys Divisional Round Preview. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on Twitter for more information. Thanks.